Imagine being told for over a century that your country was finished. Too weak to defend itself, too poor to matter, too broken to compete, and then in just a few decades becoming one of the most powerful forces on Earth. That is the story of modern China. But this isn't just a story about GDP charts or skyscrapers. It's a story about how humiliation can shape a nation's psychology, how policy can transform millions of lives, and how power is built slowly, system by system. To understand China's rise, you have to start with the century of humiliation, a period from the 1800s into the mid-1900s, when foreign powers carved up Chinese territory, forced unequal treaties, and treated the country like a prize rather than a peer. That memory still matters, a lot. It helps explain why modern Chinese leaders place such huge importance on sovereignty, stability, and strength. The real turning point came after 1978, when Deng Xiaoping launched economic reforms. The idea was simple but powerful: keep political control but open the economy. That meant allowing markets, foreign investment, special economic zones, exports, and private entrepreneurship to grow inside a state-guided system. Why was this so effective? Because China had three huge advantages. First, a massive labor force. Second, a government able to plan long-term. And third, a willingness to learn from the outside world fast. Instead of trying to reinvent everything, China absorbed technology, copied what worked, and scaled it at incredible speed. This is where the real machinery of the rise becomes clear. China didn't just get rich because people worked hard. Plenty of countries work hard. It grew because of a specific combination: low-cost manufacturing, heavy infrastructure investment, export-led growth, urbanization, and state direction. Factories created jobs. Jobs pulled people into cities. Cities created demand for roads, ports, power grids, housing, and telecom networks. That infrastructure then made industry even more efficient. It became a feedback loop. And here's what's useful to understand. China's rise shows that economic power is not just about money. It's about logistics, education, supply chains, energy, and institutions. If you want to understand why a country becomes influential, follow the boring things: ports, railways, semiconductors, manufacturing capacity, bureaucratic coordination. That's where power often begins. Take Shenzhen, once a fishing village, now a global tech center. Its transformation shows how policy, infrastructure, and incentives can completely reshape a region. Or look at the Belt and Road Initiative, where China extends influence by financing roads, railways, and ports abroad. That's not just economics, it's strategy. It creates trade routes, dependence, and long-term partnerships. Of course, China's rise is not a simple success story. There are major challenges: an aging population, real estate debt, tensions with the West, and questions about how much growth can continue under tighter state control. So the story is not China won. It's that China changed the balance of the world, and the next chapter is still being written. From humiliation to power, China's rise is one of the most important transformations in modern history. And the most fascinating part is this: it didn't happen all at once. It happened through a chain of decisions, incentives, and systems that turned weakness into momentum. That's what makes it worth understanding. Because once you see how power is built, you start seeing the world differently. From humiliation to power. The fascinating story of China's modern rise is just one small part of China's rise from the 1900s to today. If you're interested, our full free China's Rise from the 1900s to Today course is linked in the description.